of course, all named in that Australian starting lineup. There's one or two who maybe not quite up to the pedigree of Kangaroos of yesteryear, but there's no doubting that Slater, Cronk and Smith are amongst the best of all time. Mal Meninga, the coach, of course, who's reinstalled a pride in the Kangaroos jersey. Changes for England. Ben Curry comes into the starting 13 in the absence of Sean O'Loughlin with that injury. James Roby starts, of course. That was advertised much earlier in the week. And Johnny Lomax coming in onto the bench, the St Helens fullback, who hasn't played since the first game in this tournament against Australia. And that is 6 weeks ago. He's been a star, hasn't he? Has captured the headlines here in Australia, and rightly so, Jermaine McGilvray. He has been terrific in this tournament so far. Can he cap it off with another appearance tonight? And Billy Slater, the fullback, his return to the international stage at this World Cup after a 2-year absence with a shoulder injury. A lot of us were writing him off as an international player, but what a return he has made, and just as good as he ever was. Referee tonight is an Australian, Gerard Sutton. It's an Englishman in the video booth in Ben Thaler, and one of each on the touchline, Chris Kendall of England and Chris Butler of Australia. James Graham will have a big part to play tonight, no doubt. Boyd Corner, the Australian. There'll be some physical stuff down the middle, and plenty of fancy stuff down the edges as well. And the countdown begins on the big screen to get this World Cup underway. England hope for glory, Australia expects. It's been a wonderful World Cup, and it comes to what could be an epic conclusion here tonight, and apt that in what could be a really physical battle, it's James Graham who leads the charge for England. So let's hear from the two men alongside me for the first time since kick-off here. Ian Millward, and first of all, Brian Noble.
Well, we're looking for an 80-minute performance from this England team. We've seen 70 minutes last week. Please, none of the heart failure stuff. They've got to be good. They've got to be execute. I think they will tonight.
Well, it looked as though James Graham took a bit of a hit in that first tackle as well. So we'll wait and see what impact that might have had, but how many times in his career have we seen him looking out of it on the field, and then suddenly he pops up with a big moment. Roby there will take the tackle. Widdop's up at dummy half. Here comes Gale, looking for a kick. Might have taken a bit of a challenge there as well.
Yeah, he caught one for his worth there as well, so the Australians are not going to go away. They're a terrific team themselves, and this arm wrestling shoes at the start of the game. We've got to see how good England are defensively. Roughing Billy Slater up there, James Graham. So it's all on still.
Taken in by Gagai, 35 metres out from his own line.
Yeah, I think we spoke about in the preview, didn't we, Brian, that both teams will kick early. They need field position, but you need to turn the forwards around. Smith's the master at it. They've got to step up. England, they're two halves to also match Smith, who's really good at it.
So Australia looking to move it left. Here's Morgan down that left-hand side. Cameron Smith in at dummy half again. It'll be Cooper Cronk who will launch one high in the air on the 6th. Should be a simple catch for Gareth Widdop, but a decent chase for Australia. Widdop's shook off the first man, but takes the challenge there.
Yeah, a kick with no pressure really. Widdop will clean those up all day and makes himself 10 metres. And this man, so player of the tournament in many people's eyes.
Whitehead, Elliot Whitehead, put down just outside the 30. Roby picks up, and Sam down the middle. Sam Burgess, different role for him tonight in that 13 shirt, so to speak. This is Graham, and England reach the last. Gale with a kick again. It's a careful, cautious opening to the game for both sides here tonight, just searching each other out as Gagai brings it back again.
I know one thing Wayne Bennett talks about pre-kickoff. He talks about they've got to complete 10 from 10, their first 10 sets, and they've started that rhythm very early, England. It might sound a little bit boring, it might sound very economical the way to do it, but it builds pressure, builds field position, and gets you in the groove of the game real quick.
Well, they're already up to the third tackle here, Australia, and on tackle 4 find themselves 35 metres out. Aaron Woods takes it in. And he'll be playing at the Bulldogs next year, of course, with James Graham having departed that club. Whether that leads to a little bit of extra prickle on the field, we'll see. Here's Ryan Hall.
Well, just a thing I picked up early in relation to kicking games here. I think Cronk's got the space to find a little bit of floor and a bit of a space between the wingers and fullback. I think England are more intent on putting the ball really high so they can have an organised kick-chase team down there, and are not quite looking for the space because the back three of Australia have got it covered.
Well, it's Slater too. He's so lethal. Any space he gets, he can beat people. He backs it up with speed. See, they're getting there down the middle third really well here, England. There's some footwork by the forwards, getting in between defenders, and an early kick once again.
Kevin Brown just looking for the corner. Slater's across there, hoovers things up and quickly marches things on again. But again, the England chase is good enough. Brown and Roby up there to make the tackle. Australia starting from deep again. One or two of their big fellas still to get behind to play the ball here. 14th time that the World Cup, or in the 14 times it has been played for since 1954, Australia have been world champions. 10 of those. They have dominated this code. England never having won it as England, 3 times as Great Britain. That's an offload by Woods. Now it comes to Cronk. Inside for Matt Gillett. Plays at this ground for the Brisbane Broncos. They're on the last again. Cooper Cronk again will just put that little chip. Widdop's waiting for it. He's in exactly the position. Cronk, oh, and he's taken well, but he's evaded the first attempt of tackle, but gets caught on the second. And now Hall. He can muscle his way through. The wingers have done just such a splendid job. Here comes the other, McGillivray, making metres for fun in this tournament. Here's Roby. Now Sam Burgess again, hurling himself forward. Roby, Graham's to his left. The truck and trailer, as Brian Noble likes to embody them. They were playing together for St Helens Schools under 11s all those years ago. Oh, Graham's holding his head there again. He's having a shaky start in terms of personal health.
Well, there's the big high kick again that I've alluded to, and it is an arm wrestle at the start of this game, and the longer this goes on for England, the better in my mind.
Well, it builds confidence, and defensively it builds confidence. Notice when they start to creep into the England half, they go to Cronk. That's the side they want to go to. They think Bateman and Gale have got some deficiencies in defence, and that's where they'll attack when they get down out of the ring.
So Cameron Smith at dummy half. Clemmer to his left, but it's a kick downfield. It's not going to catch out Gareth Widdop, who's across there quickly to catch it. And England's set will begin on the 40-metre mark here. That's a bit of a win, a slight win here for England.
That's a win for England, definitely. I thought you were talking about the hit from the Australians, but Widdop was in great position on the Cameron Smith kick, and they're starting on play 2. They're at the halfway line.
So they are building position. It's not the prettiest of rugby league, but it's effective at the moment. Whitehead. Here's Roby again. This is Hill. Roby has a look around to see what's on and goes right to Brown. Quick from Widdop, but he can't get it away, but he almost ducks underneath the attentions of Michael Morgan. They're on the last. Brown. Gale has to reach, and there's the first mistake of the game. First mistake is England's, and it just lets Australia off the hook a little bit.
You know, I was leading up that set. I was just going to say to you, Brian, this has been a really good set by England. There's some movement of the ball. They got into some little set plays, because you've got to move the ball against Australia. You don't want to be pedestrian and make it easy for them to read. And then that last tackle, you've got to be clinical.
Absolutely. You know, couldn't agree with you more. They had 5 great plays, set up plays, had a look at Australia, dribble the ball into a corner and see how they keep getting out of their own half, but to give them a free 40 metres there on the finish of the set will be disappointing.
Well, that's where Coach Bennett comes from. He talks about 10 from 10 completion and no errors and discipline, and that's where England fall down at times during this tournament. You can't do that against Australia.
Well, it's a 4 out of 5 for England in terms of completion. And Australia are very good at taking advantage of that kind of thing. Cameron Smith pulls out of dummy half, swings it away to Cooper Cronk. Into the line comes Matt Gillett. 4 tackles gone. Still a couple to go. Australia will finish this at least with an attacking kick. It's Michael Morgan again, puts the ball back on the inside for Dugan to have a look. He keeps it alive, picked up by Maguire. Maguire to this right-hand side. England arms are all around it. So Cameron Smith is here. And this is the last play. It's with Cooper Cronk again, looking to slide it in. Widdop's across there, gets his head taken off as well. He might have had a penalty there.
That
but
should have been a penalty. The referee hasn't picked that up.
England at least have possession. How many times have we seen Australia put that ball in the in-goal area and force a repeat set? But England will be pleased.
The positional play by Widdop. He's diffused 3 danger kicks already, and I believe he's the form player of the tournament so far. He's been outstanding.
He's also one of Ian Millward's players at his club, but that's not swaying you any, is it?
I hope he's not going to ask for more money.
Is he playing at full-back for your team next year?
Well, he plays 6, he's our captain, but there'll be a big debate when he returns because he's been great, and he did come through the juniors as a full-back.
That's a great dart.
What a kick from Gale. If it holds up,
great dart from Gale.
If it holds up here, and it will hold up, that is terrific. Great kick, great kick. And it means that Gaga's got work to do. And
that's the value of your kicking game. Look how long it'll take the Australians to get by. He's leathered that down the field, and on the back of a tough set from England as well.
Builds confidence. And Chris Hill was involved with that tackle. Great work by a front rower.
Here's Valentine Holmes, who's scored 11 tries in his last 2 games. I don't think he'll find try scoring against England quite as easy today. 5 in one, 6 in the other. Smith, it's with Morgan. Just inside the England half. It's not a bad set from Australia so far in terms of metres made. Woods with the offload again. That's twice he's done that. Cameron Smith with Billy Slater coming powering on the offload. Smith, well, the referee does give that as a high tackle. It's a penalty for Australia, and they just get a chance to relieve a bit of tension here. Both sets of players. There's nothing serious going on.
Tell me, what was the difference between that tackle there and Widdop when he was trying to get the ball out in goal? You know, because they attack Widdop, which you do because you want to get him in goal. The same there, they're offloading the ball, so the defender wanted to attack to try and lock it up. And actually, Gareth's just saying to the referee, what was the difference there between mine down the other end? But don't forget too, it's our last, it's a 4th tackle penalty, which is another set of 6.
Sam.
We've got the replay here, and it is high. It does warrant a penalty, but the point I'm trying to make is I thought they could have had a warranted penalty down the other end also. Just keep an eye on this set of 6 guys. I think you'll find they'll kick out. I'll take it over to the right-hand side of England, and they'll come back to this left. They scored their first 2 tries, and their 3 tries they scored in game 1 were down this left-hand side against Gale and Bateman.
Yeah, we picked up on that before, didn't we? Big challenge for John Bateman and Luke Gale.
I think Sam Burgess is just pointing out to the referee the error of his ways.
You're the first one going. Maybe, but he's on notice.
So Australia still have the penalty, but the referee noticing that they were the first to react there.
What are you doing here, Brian? Kicking for goal to go 2-0?
Yep.
Cameron Smith's going for the corner. It's a corner he knows well from his many wonderful appearances here for Queensland in state of origin, and in an Australian shirt as well. Here's Cronk, another Queenslander. It's Morgan who puts the dummy on, but across quickly comes the defensive effort of Elliot Whitehead. 10 metres out, Australia with a chance, the first chance of the game to put pressure on this English line. Clever put down 5 away. It's Smith again. Now it's Cronk. Cronk with a little step. England had it covered. England's defence has been terrific in this tournament so far, but they are really being tested here again. Morgan now going left. Boyd corner doesn't offer much of a threat on that occasion. 2 tackles to go. Here's Smith darting away. The pass is to Maguire. Maguire urges, but so too does England's defence. Last play, Smith goes left. It's with Cronk. Cronk with a corkscrew kick. It's a high one by Watkins. Oh, McGilvraith's missed it. And England in the end are lucky to get away with it. Drop out underneath the sticks.
I'm not sure. Did Watkins try to bat that one back, or was he trying to catch it? I'd like to see it again, see what we got here. He leaps up high. I think he missed it. He hit him on the head. I think he was trying to catch it, but it hit him on the head. Could be wrong.
Because he went up, it was in the field of play, so he's not deep enough in goal to bat it dead, which you don't want to bat it dead because you want to catch it, so you get a 20-metre restart in rugby league if you catch the ball in the in-goal area. But this is what they're very good at, the Cronks and the Smiths. This is where they've been made their name in their teams, building pressure, plenty of possession.
Slater's catch, and Woods is the eager carrier to take it back deep inside English territory. Repeat set, first of the game, goes to Australia. Usually spells real danger. England having to be on their mettle, and it's another penalty. Woods had it stolen, says referee Sutton. Another little mini debate going on amongst the Australians. They're going to take the tap and run it. Here's Courtner. Cameron Smith, the general. It's Josh Maguire, puts it back to Cooper Cronk, who had trouble keeping hold of the ball there, which gave Burgess a real chance to size him up and knock him down. And Cronk groggily to his feet again. Here's Clemmer, driving it hard. England hanging on. 3 to go in the set. Smith again spins it out to Cronk. They've closed him down quickly, but they still get it away. Back down the middle goes Matt Gillett. He's on his own. England's defenders around him. Desperate moments here for the team in white. It's out to Morgan. Morgan puts the dummy on. No space, gets the ball away. McGilvray got a hand to that, I think. Australia have it. No touch from England. Last play for Australia. Here comes Cronk. Chip towards the corner. It's Hall under pressure this time. He's caught it on the full in the in-goal area. It'll be a tap. No. What's he given here? He's decided he caught it in the field of play and then went back in the in-goal area. Ryan Hall's pointing to the big screen and saying, have a look at that, referee. Well, let's have a look at that. We don't see the feet.
I think you'll find it's a correct decision. He was in the field of play. He jumped in the air and landed in the in-goal, but it's where he came from. He came from the field of play, and that's a fair call.
Yeah.
If his foot was on the ground and he caught in the in-goal,
He's contesting the ball, mate. He didn't tackle him.
Change, but gee, a bit of pressure here, isn't it?
Well, full set, isn't it?
And I've got to say, their defence has been really good. The way they're working from the inside, helping each other in case they step back on the inside.
That's a fair dart.
Oh, that's a big kick, isn't it? That's a big kick from Widdop.
Well, this is the big test. 5th set on the bounce. Get that into you, Clemmer.
Big Sam.
Wow.
Clattering Clemmer. He's a big fella, but he's up to his feet pretending it doesn't hurt. Aaron Woods now takes it in as well. This England pack has been magnificent. Woods has got a 3rd offload of the game. England are going to have to watch that. Here's Maguire again. Apologies, by the way, if you picked up any swearing on the ref's mic. We do apologise for that if you're offended by that. Here's Cameron Smith running out. Billy Slater comes back towards the middle. Still 3 tackles to go for Australia. Smith, Cronk, trying to make space here. Morgan with a short ball. It's a big effort in defence, but Courtner's got over to score in attack. The referee points the finger without any doubt. The pressure was building and building, and eventually something had to give, and it's Courtner who found the leak in that English line.
Well, it's weight of pressure, and it's Aaron Woods' offload that gives him that 2nd place. It's out to Cronk and Morgan, and Courtner's on the fly, and Kevin Brown it's just weight. It's 5 sets on the bounce. It's the fatigue that England defenders are feeling. Brown needs to go high there. He's on the fly, he's Courtner. He picks him out one-on-one and just breaks the tackle.
If you look at that whole set, Brian, they were targeting the 2 small men, the standoff and the halfback in Gale and Brown. And when you get one-on-one and that close a line, it's hard, especially after defending 4 sets in a row. This is the key, but we spoke about pre-game, but if Australia go back-to-back tries, they're the masters of controlling the game, led by Smith at dummy half. He takes the tempo of the game to suit Australia. So, as much as they've defended well and they've started well, England, this next 10 minutes is vital they get back into that rhythm.
New South Wales captain Boyd Courtner, it's not often he comes to this ground and finds himself cheered by the majority of the locals. Cameron Smith is more than used to that. 75% kicking accuracy. What have you two spotted?
I'm just looking at the weight possession that Australia have had, like pretty much 65% to 35. That's hard against a quality team, and a couple of penalties to Australia as well in the scheme of things, and the error to the end of the set. So it's just the story builds up. England need to get themselves back into the rhythm.
Smith puts it over 6-0 Australia. Golden Boot winner earlier this week as the International Player of the Year yet again.
We go back to this commentary. If you look here, Smith, the long ball again, but the body's in motion and their structure. I don't like using the word structure, but I mean people are in position and ready to offer themselves. And they're very clinical, Australia. They're a well-oiled machine. And when you give them 4 sets of 6, which wasn't England's fault, but you've got to deny them in finals.
So here goes Woods. He's not offloading out of that one, is he? Another big Sam hit. Ball. Penalty. The referee took a guess. Aaron Woods just snacks the shirt of Sam Burgess. And he gets a penalty. They're getting the calls here, it's fair to say, Australia. From the Australian referee.
I've got to say, you can control this situation. You know, it's a kick-off. You don't want to let them get out of your half. Play one.
Get behind it, Cooper.
If you're involved with that, you've got to get out. Referee's called release, and he's still playing around there, so it's always going to go against you.
Wait for the foot. Hold for the foot.
This is vital time. We talk about Brian, that back-to-back Australia go into. They love going back-to-back tries quickly.
Here's Dugan.
It's that element of discipline we've spoken about as well. You've got to be uber clean, squeaky clean.
Cool.
You've got to smash them like they smashed Woods there and get off them.
Maguire running in hard. Hits the treacle, legs stop moving. Down he goes. Smith again. Here's Aaron Woods. Puts it back to Cooper Cronk. Cronk has Billy Slater chiming into the line. Billy the kid, the comeback kid from that big shoulder injury from 2 years ago. Chambers scoops it back to Cronk. This is David Klemmer, who's going face to face with his old Bulldogs teammate James Graham. Last tackle coming up. Smith to Cronk. Cronk now trying to move it. Billy Slater puts a little kick on. It's picked up by Ryan Hall, and England will be relieved, but they come away with ball in hand. Danger, but they survive. And here's Ben Curry. Roby. Watkins, the centre, getting himself involved early here.
He's done that well for England these last couple of games, Callum Watkins.
McGilvray with a step that challenges Klemmer and Woods. Quick play, the ball as well from the winger. That's good because that gives that little pocket for Hill to run into. And here comes the last. Gale spins it high. Caught close to the wing, but well taken by Gagai. Takes it down and in the field of play.
Great recovery set from England. They've gone 100 metres there pretty much on the back of their outside backs, and then Hill's finding the space with the footwork up the middle.
It's an outstanding set, and there's probably a moral of that story. Get your outside backs in more, because Australia with their big men struggle with footwork, and they've forced an error here now, Australia.
That's a knock on. It's England's head and feed. And when they pack down, when they clear this and pack down, this will be England's best starting position to a set so far. Listen to the English voices in the crowd.
And there's plenty of them. We never mentioned it at the top of the show, but there must be, I don't know, how many thousands in here from England.
On that strip backwards of England, that then does. Is there another knock on by 8? It's stripped backwards off Whitehead. It comes up the shoulder. It's not a knock on. So it's then a knock on off Australia. So it's a scrum down England ball, Jerry.
Well, the video referee's having a look at that.
Yeah, well, see, he ruled that it was a strip, and he's making sure he stripped the ball backwards and not forwards, which is okay. First set inside the 30, Brian. They've been pretty good from scrums in this tournament and building up into some points early in games, England.
Kevin Brown inside for Watkins. Watkins now with the footwork on and trying to squeeze his way through. Look at this position, 15 metres out. England trailing 6-0, but a chance now. Hill slamming the ball forward again, 5 metres away. Penalty for England. Repeat set for England, or do they kick the goal?
You keep playing here, you keep playing. Field position, don't need the 2 at the moment.
Tom Burgess on the field and getting very close to get over the whitewash with just about his first touch. Roby spins it left, Gale now puts it back. Brown's in ball, Hall flicks it back, Bateman crunched by those recovering Australian defenders. They took a gamble, it didn't work.
It was too tight. I thought they were trying to create too much space in not enough space, if that makes sense here. They crammed the short side and they just gave their ball players no chance, really.
Well, the longer ball to the winger gave the inside defenders a chance to push off while the ball was in the air also. And you're right, had a very narrow channel to work in, and
Over here,
And with
boys.
a couple of long balls, they gave Australia a chance to push off
Over here,
really
boys.
early. The amount of work they've done by England, when they get the ball, they look really comfortable, which is a really good sign. Getting out of yardage, so we talk about coming off your try line, they're doing that real well,
Wait
coming
to
down the
out,
middle
ball
third
there,
with some
Gareth.
footwork
Hold
with the outside
Sam.
backs.
Wait to the out.
I'd like to see
All
him
right,
get some
Cameron.
opportunities
Okay,
down
Cameron.
here. But Australia are the best in the world in defence, so you've got to be good to crack them.
That's Dugan.
Get square.
This is Slater. Australia looking to power their way out of this troubled territory at the moment. Clemmer and Woods, the two starting props coming off. They've been interchanged. Does that take a little bit of a sting out of this Australian go forward with the two big men having been replaced? We shall see. Here's Gillett. Cameron Smith at dummy half, looks to his left. We'll find Regan Campbell-Gillard, eager and anxious to take on the challenge. Smith on the fifth with a little chip. Kind bounce for McGilvray. On his way, Morgan and Smith, and that's where he'll stop. The referee shut it hold, so he can go 40-yard or two.
You see, the thing is for me, there's a couple of penalty cases there for me at that end of the field. He's given a penalty to England on play 1 under round 6 Australia. I think he needs to look at what's going on here.
I love your passion, Brian.
There you go.
There you go, there you go.
Come on, see? Talked him into it.
You're mic'd up. This is not fair.
It's very fair.
Stay behind it here, Tom.
Gillett, the man who's simply hanging on too long there, the referee decides.
Hold the line.
So 18 minutes of the first half remaining, 6-0 Australia lead. Hope you watching back home are feeling more comfortable with the get-up this week. We've asked you to get up at 5 o'clock the last 2 Saturdays. Much more.
Got him.
Oh, here's Watkins.
should have passed it
Now a
first
chance
off.
for McGilvray. McGilvray coming back on the inside. Oh, he's lost the ball. Lost the ball. At least he's managed to wrap up the tackle on Cameron Smith, and he plays it, and Whitehead falls on it. Referee says penalty Australia.
Yeah, spot on, Brian. He had to catch and pass here because McGilvray's been a powerhouse the whole tournament. He's been hard to stop here in this right-hand corner. He's got silky skills, Watkins. You know, if he just transfers the ball across his body, he's got the penalty there. He said he's not square, even though they didn't have a dummy half Australia. He said he wasn't square to start with, so he got an advantage. But
Well, we haven't seen on the replay, but they created the 2-on-1, and he just needed to catch and pass, and McGilvray was away.
I love it when Widdop gets out the back. He makes the right decision. His timing and his composure with the ball in his hands, fantastic.
Here's McLean, Jordan McLean. Another of the Melbourne family, but he is going to the Cowboys next year. Australia advancing towards the halfway line and beyond.
Release Alex.
Cameron Smith. Morgan back on the inside. Dugan comes looking for anything he might find. All he finds is the eager reflexes of Alex Walmsley, helped out by Thomas Burgess. One-handed pickup. Now it's on by Josh Maguire.
Last tackle, James.
It's robust at the moment from both sides. Here's Smith. Cronk on the 6. High towards McGilvray. Cronk's gone down in back play. McGilvray's taken it clean. England start from there. Well, they're still having a little bit of a go, those two, aren't they? Sam Burgess and Cooper Cronk. And Cooper Cronk has just pushed Sam Burgess in the back, like you'd see in the infants' playground.
Well, like the under-11s, wasn't it? Get my brother on you.
I thought it was Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger there for a minute.
Release Rodriguez.
Here's another of the Burgess clan, Thomas Bateman, stepping on Chambers.
Last tackle. Hold.
6th again, and England inside their own half, so Gale needs something big.
Tom.
Slater, well, it's allowed to bounce here, which gives England a bit more of an advantage than it might have been. It's picked up by Valentine Holmes, and England's line is up there to make sure Australia start only 15 from their own line.
It was a lazy option by Slater. He was sort of a little bit fatigued coming back, and he let it bounce and end up a great result for England.
Heads away, Callum. Marcus Elliott. Go Tookie, James.
Marched up by Morgan. Slater showed that he has got petrol in the tank with that latest carry. Cameron Smith taking it in and threatening, and Cronk is flanked again by Luke Gale this time, fair and square. He can't push anyone in the back about that. There was nothing wrong. Gagai.
Last tackle, Sam.
Gee, Sam's doing some work, isn't he?
Last.
6th tackle. Cooper Cronk slides it downfield. And
England are growing into this game. And like what they've done after their 4 sets and the weight of pressure, just love a little bit more execution at the other end of the field. We talked about opportunities, didn't we, Ian?
Oh, we did, but that is a sign of recognition of England's defence and how hard they hit that set of 6. When Cronk wants to run the ball in the touch, he sees Slater not try and catch it on the full. He sees forwards a little bit struggling coming out of their yardage. He decides, I'm going to kick it down the touch. We need a break because they're coming after us here at the moment, and they're denying us going for that second try, which we call Australia, go for that killer punch. So defensively, and I think you can talk about defence, Brian, but there's a willingness to hurt. You know, they want to hit.
Around the back there, Ben.
Yeah, they're good. And I think they're making meters up the middle as well. I thought Hill, when he was on, was great moving forward. And
where we go, Luke?
I thought he was the best front rower on the field in the opening stint.
here's Hall.
Regan, hands off. Go one.
Roby. McGilvray's there again, eager.
Jordan, up
They're not a bad pair of front rowers, are they? The two wingers. McGilvray and Hall. Burgess.
Cameron Ruiz.
He's done some work tonight, hasn't he, Sam Burgess?
Go three.
Roby.
Three. Stand up now. Hold, Jordan.
Teasing the halfway line. 4 tackles gone. Widdop collects and Walmsley comes galloping on again. Relatively fresh from the bench.
Tackle Josh. Square marker. Oh, boy. Pick it up. Alex.
Slow play the ball. This won't help Luke Gale. He's still got enough time to try and pick his spot with a high kick downfield. Valentine Holmes is underneath it, catches it well enough. Here comes the England line. Holmes looking to break it, but it's Roby who makes the tackle. And again, less than 20 from their own line. Quick pick up by Billy Slater. He ducks and darts underneath Tom Burgess, but there's more support from Walmsley. Gaga pushing hard, meters after contact, decent from the winger. Smith inside. It's McLean. No offload from him. Smith goes left again. Here comes Michael Morgan. They've got some numbers here. Dugan, though, doesn't promote the ball any further than that. Loses a boot in the process. 5 tackles gone. Last play again. Cooper Cronk putting it high. Ryan Hall settles himself. There's a challenge there, but Hall has taken it superbly well with Chambers all over him.
Great catch, Ryan Hall.
And now Bateman. Burgess. Jordan McLean tried to get in his face. Brown back on the inside again for Whitehead. Here's Roby. Worms is there. Roby with a dummy. Gale again. Widdop's quick hands. Bateman. Well, there might have been a couple of thoughts in his head there. One to pass, one to keep hold. It was the latter that struck. Gale again on the last. He's looking for a bit of grass to see it bounce, and it skids on. But it's Holmes who collects. Graham sizes him up. And even the winger's footwork can't get him past the prop forward.
There's a few Australians walking back here, so it's beginning to take its toll, this from England. They've got to keep concentrating. This is the time in the test match when concentration's massive. Slater will try and go in and make a break, and so all the little principles of play have got to come into play and keep defending as they defended this first 30 minutes.
3 gone already. Still short of the halfway line. Campbell-Gillard is crunched to the ground. Smith to Cronk. There was an inside runner, but Cronk took it on himself. And they find themselves on the last, so it'll be the boot of Morgan this time to put it high. McGilvray's put his name on it, catches it safely. Steamroller comes flying at him, Josh Dugan, but he won't mind that. Jermaine McGilvray, catching was the most important job. Watkins.
Good carry. Handy front.
It's Roby. It's a stifling heat out there, by the way. It's a really close night. Temperatures up to about 30 degrees, but humidity very, very high here in Queensland. Chance of rain a little later. This is Roby. Gale to Brown. Now it's Widdop. Here comes Watkins. Little skip from him. Takes them on again. Runs straight, crash, bang, wallop into Josh Dugan. McGilvray. Gale's kick looking for distance again. Caught by Gagai. Australia start 30 yards out this time.
As much as we're looking at the wingers for England saying how outstanding they are in the ball, it's kicked to them in the air, they're doing that very well. Got to watch Australia don't put him with the sucker punch here. They keep kicking to the wingers, but Slater's been hovering up the middle. They'll do the reverse kick, which they love to do, Cronk and Slater. They can sort of, you half anticipate, yeah, he's kicking the wing, he's kicking the wing. Now he reverse kicks. So England's going to be on their guard. They're very good at that, Cooper, Cronk and Slater at this time of the game.
Well, that's Campbell-Gillard. There's a real fatigue to the body language of Australia at the moment. This is Michael Morgan. So last play again for Australia, still 30 metres out. Smith's across there quickly. Along the ground this time, because there was a bit of a hole back there, but Widdop again is across to take it.
Yeah, his position has been superb this tournament, hasn't it, Gareth Widdop? Cleaned up all their kicks, and you read that from Cameron Smith.
It's McGilvray. This is Graham, back on the field. Blood still streaming from that left eye. He won't mind those scars of war. Walmsley rides the big shoulder of Frizzell and takes it on another stride or two. Roby to Brown. Brown with a step and an offload. It's between a couple of legs. Clean bowled James Graham, but Gale picks it up. They might make something here. Bateman with a step back on the inside. He flicks away to Ryan Hall. Hall now dancing towards the middle. Takes them on face to face. Now Gale. I think he was just outside the 40 when he let that fly.
Smart.
Certainly, Gagai was confident of that, but it has put Australia right back on the back.
He's got this on a string tonight, Luke Gale. His last 5 kicks have either found space and got the kick chase down there, or they've been high enough to get the kick chase down there. And I think he sensed a little bit of fatigue on both sides of the fence then and thought, I need the sideline here.
Certainly, the last 2 kicks he's had to kick inside his 40, so he's been under a little bit of pressure, and he kicked it back to this left-hand corner, got the run on it. It was really smart. And that's a big question I always had coming in this final, whether he could step up his kicking, and he off a great Super League season, and he has really stood up here at the moment. We've got 7.5 minutes on the clock here, and they've weathered this storm by Australia, England, but they've got to come back here with something, I believe, before half-time, with some possession down this end of the park, because it's all down England's end of the park at the moment.
Well, these are incredibly conditioned athletes. They are incredibly fit human beings, so to be displaying the levels of fatigue that both sides are displaying tells you how tough this test match has been for the opening 33 minutes.
I'll tell you when we know England are getting a little bit on top, Roby will run a lot from dummy half. And that's when you'll know that Australia's starting to open up around the middle.
Well, they're winning the battle here, England, at the moment. 3 tackles gone, Australia restricted to 30 yards. Now McLean. It is patient rugby league you're watching here. Cameron Smith is inside the 40 when he lets that fly. So there's an air of desperation, but it's not quite gone beyond the 20. Well, Ryan Hall would have had his heart in his mouth, and when he saw it creep out just before the 20-metre line, he would have been so relieved.
Well, we talk about people don't kick for hope, do they? Hope's not a good strategy. You look at both these teams, whether it's Gale or Cronk, and then you look at on the other part, Smith, Brown. It's all strategic, where they want to start their sets and how they want to change the tempo of the game. He nearly had Gareth then, and he definitely had Ryan Hall.
Well, he was about 5 yards away from making that a potentially game-breaking kick. Had it gone beyond the 20-metre mark, a tap for Australia, England on the ropes.
And that's what he's good at, Cameron Smith, identifying the fact that his team's in a fight here. And he wants to change that fight there. Where with that kick, the 40-20 kick?
Well,
so does this bloke.
Great from McGilvray, great from McGilvray. Great carry again.
Doesn't he beat the first person easily?
Now Burgess, Thomas, up to his feet, bouncing up. Graham back on the inside to Walmsley. He's got Frizzell hanging on for dear life in the tackle. Smith down the ankles. Making decent progress here, England. Gale up to the line. Now it's with Widdop. Looking for the step back on the inside. Gillett makes the tackle.
Smart play from Widdop. They've moved on again, the Australian defence, and there wasn't a pass play, so he took the meters.
Walmsley. Bulldozing forward and picking a position here, 20 metres out. And a penalty for England for holding down. Big moment. They were on to the last play. They now have 6 more. Do they go for goal?
What are we doing?
They're taking the tap. Graham again. They sense that Australia are just running out of juice here at the moment. Roby runs away left to Gale. Gale puts the pass back. Bateman has to recover the position. He's lost the ball. Opportunity lost for England again. Just a little rush of blood when they needed calmness. And they've handed Australia a lifeline.
Well, that's 3. That's 3 they've come down this end of the park, and they've lost the ball in sets of 6 when they've been able to challenge that goal line, where Australia's been able to flip that. If they haven't been able to score, they've been able to put the ball in goal and get repeat sets, and that's been the difference down this end.
We spoke about that at the top of the show. We were kind of alluding to the fact that they create positions or they create a chance. What you can't do is throw away the chance. We haven't executed one yet.
Not now, mate.
Very rare Australia will give away a penalty on the last tackle. You've got to take that and say, if we don't score, we build pressure by putting the ball in the in goal. Actually, there's a fair bit of rain coming down here at the moment.
Yeah.
Down we go. Food Cooper.
Just on that close-up shot of Bateman there, we saw the rain falling. I don't think we could pick it up from this position before that.
James, no hands.
Australia leading by 6 points to 0. 3.5 minutes to go before half-time. These are dangerous moments for England, aren't they?
Always.
Just before the break, Australia can pick up the tempo. They've found the halfway line very nearly on tackle 3. Here's McLean.
Alex Kira, lock in. Hold.
Cameron Smith. This is Cooper Cronk. Now Billy Slater. Looking what's around. Chambers, he's around. But England defenders have his number. They're on the last again, 30 metres out, so Cronk will look for a kick. Graham trying to close him down. McGilvray's underneath it. The challenge is coming in. It was a knock-on by Josh Dugan.
Zero.
It's a 0 tackle as England claim it. The referee will say no advantage.
10, hand over.
And the handover on the 10-metre mark.
This is a tough game, isn't it? An exciting, close game. The nip and tuck. Who can catch it? Who can't catch it? Gilbray's up there. England are clearing their lines. And everything England doing for me is fantastic. They just can't create that opportunity up there or keep hold of the ball for long periods.
You've got to treasure the ball a bit more when you're down here, but if you're a coach, Brian, going at half-time, the first thing you say, hey, guys, have a break, just settle down. You need them to get some air here at half-time, don't you? You're not going to listen too much here at the moment because they've really emptied the tank, both teams at the moment.
Here's Walmsley. Stopped by the shoulder of Campbell Gillard. It's not the most expansive games of rugby league by any stretch of the imagination, but look what's at stake, the Paul Barriere Trophy. This is Brown.
Michael up. Make it hold.
Neither side want to lose this.
Last tackle, Tyson. No.
They're coming to the 6th.
Go, last.
Gale again.
James.
Shoots it high in the air. Slater will hear the hooves coming his way, but no, they're a long way away.
110.
Can catch it safely. Gale's up there.
Surrender.
Makes a tackle.
Wait, Billy.
But again, the green and golds. There's not many behind the ball.
John, give room. Hold. Go,
Gagai
2.
collects out of dummy half.
Surrender. Marcus. Hold, James.
Smith,
Go, 3.
the man who waits. Chambers pushing on towards the halfway line. No further.
Held. Pick it up, Will. Go.
Smith again. Here's Cronk. They're sweeping it along the line here to Morgan. Back on the inside again. Oh, there's a bit of a gap here found by Courtner almost, but good recovery in defence by Walmsley. And on the last, Cameron Smith is picking up and running it and going wide. And here's Chambers. Chambers with a kick. It pings off an English leg, but then safely into the English arms of Ryan Hall.
If you're an outside back or for England, under a lot of pressure, but if you're a forward or another player for England, you know you're safe because they're so safe, those back 3, aren't they?
Unbelievably good out there.
Soft hands by Graham, an unintentional pass, I think, by Watkins, but Graham will take that. And then very, very late, the referee decides it was a forward pass. Australia rushing to the scrum because if they can pack it down, they'll stop the clock.
Easy, Matt.
Without's trying to get in the way of things.
Matt, it's just time off. If he wants to do that, it's just time off.
Well, it's hard to see what happened there. Watkins went backwards.
Didn't it get propelled back through the force of the tackle?
He's saying he's probably lost control of the ball and adjudicated the knock on there.
Well, there's 11 seconds of the half remaining. 2 plays maximum here for Australia, leading 6-0. England desperate to hang on to that. They go for a drop goal. Cooper Cronk for a drop goal. It didn't come off, but it's picked up by Valentine Holmes, and he will take the tackle, and that will be the end of what has been an absolutely punishing and fascinating first half. It might have lacked flair at times, it might have lacked real edge of the seat excitement, but boy, as a test match, that was a test match.
It is full on, Dave. We just got to get England to execute a little bit better and look up to the ball a little better. But they're in the game, they're absolutely playing their socks off for me.
Well, Boyd Corner is the only man to score a try so far in this game in the 14th minute, and he's down on the pitch speaking now with Brett Kimmorley.
Well, Boyd Gordon only 2 mistakes the first 40 minutes. Pretty clinical for Australia.
Yeah, mate, we're going to have to do that to be any chance of winning tonight. They're a great team, so we can't give them good field position.
The pace of the game?
Yeah, it's good, mate. It's what you expect of a final, but, you know, we're into it, so it should be a good second half.
Good luck in the second half. Also have Luke Gale. Well, Luke, 6-0 down. Tell us your thoughts on the first 40.
Yeah, just a battle of the field position, really. Coughed up a bit of ball up there, up our good ball, and it's just putting us under a bit of pressure, but it'll go down to the last 10 minutes, and field position and pressure will win this game.
Yeah, obviously, the heat might play a part of it as well. Obviously, it's pretty warm.
Yeah, it's pretty warm, but it's same for both sides. Like I say, the team who holds possession best will fully come out on top.
Good luck in the second half.
Yeah, cheers.
Luke Gale heads off into the England dressing room for a much-needed rest. There are the stats of that first half. Look at that. Australia completing 22 of their 23. England completing 15 of 20. A few more errors made by England, and the penalties are very balanced as well. 3 for Australia, 4 for England. It's fascinating, isn't it? As Dave Wood said, you know, there's maybe not the creativity, but a low-scoring game doesn't half have you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, I think it's been good. I think England would be happy with 6-0 down at half-time. You know, given the field position that Luke Gale touched on there, he's had to kick out of his own 40 a lot in that half, and Australia have plenty of ball on our try line. So, you know, for him only to break us down once, I think we'd be pretty happy with that.
Justin?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty obvious. England have got to be more patient with the ball. You know, I think Luke Gale's kicking tremendously well. You know, a couple of points I had before the game is I thought England had to improve their kicking game. They've done that. I'd love to see him get a kick down the other end of the field. You know, we know they've panicked early tackles, but if they're going to break Australia's defence, it might be a little kick against a grain or a little grubber or a little chip, or something's got to come up to get a try out of this game. But yeah, it's a thrilling first half. I thought it'd be a low-scoring first half. Hopefully it'll open up a bit more now that both teams are really tired.
Robbie?
Yeah, I think England are underperforming, and I think the stats show that. They're probably about 20% off what Australia is performing at this point in time. It's a game of attrition for Australia. They're trying to draw their energy, but England is matching them. Hopefully we'll see in the second 40 minutes what we saw in the opening game of the tournament, where England came out and they dominated. Changed the statistics around on them, but actually going on what Justin is saying, just being a little more patient when they get the opportunities.
And I suppose England's weakest moments came when Australia scored the try, sort of 10 to 20 minutes really of that first half, and they in many ways invited the pressure onto themselves. Penalty repeats, penalty repeats.
Yeah, they did. There was four areas, 2 penalties, 2 repeats, an error from Callum Watkins, and then this catch from Ryan Hall. He does, you know, great to catch it, but it is a repeat set, and given that much ball and possession in the England half, it's inevitable at some point they're gonna get somewhere close. You know, they're obviously targeting Kevin Brown and Luke Gale on the other side. They'd be the 2 spots in the England side, and they've got, you know, what they've worked for there. With 4 sets, you'd think you'd have to be doing something remarkable to stop them from scoring.
Yeah, and we talk about, you know, these games are going to be won on big moments, and unfortunately for Callum Watkins, that first repeat set, he should have just caught that ball. He's in the field of play, and that just gave Australia that chance to really get those, you know.
It was almost a carbon copy of the first test, of the opening game of the tournament, where the opening 20 minutes was all Australia, and that was a worrying sign, but England were able to turn the screw and get back into the game.
Because as Justice says, just on the Callum Watkins thing, to break yourself out of that momentum, you need to do something yourselves, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And momentum's a massive thing in a game as tight as this. And Callum, you'd probably see him catch that ball 99 times out of 100. You know, through a Super League year, it's uncharacteristic of him, someone so skillful, and that just sort of put ourselves under a bit of pressure. We've put ourselves under pressure on our own line, and then at the other end of the field, we've had a few opportunities where our skill's not quite been on, and we've sort of released the pressure valve off the Aussies. So that's something that we definitely need to be better on in the second half. I thought before the game we needed a 9 out of 10 performance to win it. Well, I think the second half we're going to need a 10 out of 10. We're seeing it here. It's a bad option by Kev Brown, really. They've got us covered man for man down a really short side, and he forces a pass. When we get down the other end, you don't get this opportunity very many times against the Aussies. Stripped them for numbers. You've got the best winger of the competition there. If Callum can just execute that pass quicker, he's one-on-one with Billy Slater, and I know I'd be back in there one-on-one 10 metres from the line.
And you're not going to get that many opportunities against Australia. You've got to take them. That was a gimme. That was a sure gimme. And this is another telltale sign of just not quite being at the races in regards to having the patience to build pressure. Australia did it in the opening 15 minutes. They built pressure. They made England defend for 24 tackles. You need to do the same thing to Australia, and you've got the level of talent within the team to score tries.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, England are playing like they're down 20-0, aren't they? Every time they're surprised they're down there, so they think, OK, let's produce something big. But I think, we say it enough if they're patient, but I think Australia's left edge, they've got to keep targeting that. I think, we've only conceded 3 tries this World Cup, but Josh Dugan's the one that gets caught out. He got caught out against Fiji last week for their try, and I thought he got caught out there. So I think, and England attacked really well in that second half of game 1, down their right, their right-hand side, Australia's left. So I think they've got to keep going down there, and they've got to be patient to do it.
Can you coach patience?
Well, you can talk about it, can't you? It's hard.
So, I mean, if you were in that dressing room now at half-time, that would be your main thing to reiterate to those England players?
Absolutely. And Wayne Bennett, as we all know how calm he is, he's not going to get too fired up, is he?
I think you're probably right there.
Yeah, the way you're saying, I think you look for your players and you look for Gareth Widdop to say, hey, boys, give me a chance out here. I want to get myself out there. But if we're going to have a shot on play 2 and look for something that's not there, we're putting ourselves under pressure.
For me, it comes down to the halves. It comes down to Luke Gale and Kevin Brown. They've got to be patient. They've got to be mature enough to go down there and think, you know what, we don't have to score on every play, and it's definitely not on the first play. What we need to do is to build some assertive pressure.
I think some of the rush decisions probably come from the fact that we don't want to go set for 80 minutes with the Aussies. They'll beat us at it. That's what they do every week in the NRL. There's teams like the Brisbane Broncos, they'll complete in the high 80s and win every game, and it's boring sometimes. We know we can't go set for set, but when we get them opportunities, we can't rush them. You know what I mean? When we get them, we've got to be clinical, we've got to be clear on what we're doing once we've got the ball in.
Is it trying too hard then?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of the halves not having a great amount of ball in the opposition half and thinking when they're down there, let's try something, but you can't make it up. The one that went to Flo from Luke Gale, that it was making up a pass. That I think that was probably frustration from. He's only been down there a few times. We need to make something happen.
The World Cup final got off to a bruising start for James Graham, although, as Sam said to me when we were watching it, it's only a bit of blood, get on with it. And it was, I think there were 4 or 5 round him, but it's Aaron Woods, who has replaced James Graham at Canterbury Bulldogs, who puts his sort of hand round and has you can see it from this angle.
Well, he hits his head
there, but then this is where the cut comes from. I think Woods has 2 or 3 goes at the left side of James Graham's face.
The front row is prerogative to give each other a slap, isn't it? That just comes with the nature of the game. But I think that was a telltale sign of how physical this game has actually been. 40 minutes of both forward packs absolutely giving it to one another. And it's great that you see that happen in the opening tackle of the game. A 5-on-1 tackle, James Graham doesn't get bested. Actually, both him and Gillette come off second best, but then they're also creating the tone of the game. All the rest of the front rows all come in and say, hey, just wake up.
Yeah, but the Woods-Graham thing has been a good subplot in the build-up to this game.
Yeah, definitely. They're both confrontational, they want to get into each other. And when I said it was only a bit of blood, just to be clear, I'd have gone off with it. I'm just saying...
No, not just gone off stretching it.
Yeah. Oh, I've had the works helicopter landing and everything. But for a prop forward, it's only a bit of blood. For me, it would have been a major injury.
The physicality's been brilliant, hasn't it? And Sam Burgess has given as good as he's got to the...
Oh, definitely. You know, we saw that last week against Tonga. I think we showed that England aren't intimidated or aren't lacking any in the physicality department, which is great. And some big hits there by Sam. I thought the only thing he did poorly was the one off the kick-off. This one, huge hit on Woods, and then overstepped the mark by playing at the ball. And you know, he's done the job there. Let him get up and play it.
The Aussies have got some big enforcers. They've got Clemmer off a dropout. That's what he wants. He wants 30 metres to run as hard as he can. Sam gets up there and absolutely whacks him. You know, that sends a message, you know, to all the Aussies and to the English that, you know, we're matching them, you know, in the physicality in the middle, and that's what we need.
The Australians, after Clemmer and Woods, both of them who are their starting front rowers, they think, oh no, Sam's in that mood. That's what they're thinking. Oh, he's in that mood.
But how much as well will this be a little bit of a shock to the Aussies? I mean, listen, they're used to big hits in the NRL, but they've had a fairly comfortable tournament, haven't they? I mean, this is as bruising as it has got for them.
It definitely is, but one thing Australia's done well this World Cup, they've been really patient, bordering on a bit boring. When they played France, they were 6-all after 20-something minutes. They played Lebanon, they were 6-0 after 20-something minutes, and so they're familiar to only being in front by a little bit, and that's that Melbourne Storm influence of Slater, Cronk-Smith, that no one panics, whereas England need that, hey, we're only down by 6 and let's give our last player a chance. We can score off a kick, and at the moment England are lacking that, whereas Australia are like, hey, you boys do your job, us three will dictate terms.
Yeah, it's almost robotic the way they go about their business. And that's what's worrying from England's point of view. They're not going to change. They're going to stick at this for the next 40 minutes. England needs to almost embrace that Englishness, that Super League style of rugby league. And when they get the opportunity, like we saw in the first half of Watkins and McGilvery, 2-on-1 situation, we've got to nail those situations. We've got to nail those opportunities.
Plenty more international rugby league on the way because it has been announced that England will play. Mind you, you have to be, you know, very up on your planning here because this is a year off. But you know, put it in the diary now. It'll come around soon enough. England taking on New Zealand in a 3-match home test series next winter. We'll show all 3 of them live on the BBC. They're going to take place in Hull and at Anfield and at Elland Road in Leeds as well. So that's the end of October, beginning of November next year. We'll also continue our award-winning live streaming coverage of the Challenge Cup for the first round onwards next season. The draw for the first round is Tuesday the 12th of December, so check the Rugby League pages on the BBC website for more details of that. And plenty more sport coming your way this afternoon. We've got the UK Snooker Championships from York on BBC One at 1:15. And then so you just have time to watch a frame, I would have thought, before Wales against South Africa gets underway at 2 o'clock in Rugby Union. And if you've missed any of the games so far, we're going to show highlights at 6 o'clock on BBC Two. And we have some sad news to report this week for Rugby League. The news of the death of Mick Martin, Lee's all-time record try scorer, star of the Great Britain side that toured Australia and New Zealand in 1958. He was 81, and our thoughts with his friends and family. Thank you very much for all the tweets that you're sending us. Hashtag BBCRL to get in touch throughout the course of the second half of this final as well. Stacey says, Luke Gale finally showing his quality tonight. He's really stepped up. His kicking game has been excellent so far. It has, Sam, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's why he's in the England side, because he's the best kicker in Super League, and we've probably not seen the very best of him so far, but I think tonight he's been outstanding. He's had some kicks there off some tough field position in his own 40 on the back foot, and he's nailed them. This one, that's some boot. You know, he's kicked it a lot longer than any of the Aussies expected, and we come up with a great chase with it.
And he's hit ground. He's hit terra firma quite a few times, and I think probably the viewing audience doesn't quite appreciate what sort of skill that is against Billy Slater. Billy Slater is the master in the world of rugby, be it either code, of positioning his wingers and himself to make sure that he catches the ball consistently on the full. What that means to your team is about 20 to 30 metres carrying the ball back up the field. That's massive.
And as I said earlier, I think now he's really confident with his kicking, so he'd be like, give me a chance down the other end. I can run this way, kick that way for Widdop chasing up. They've got to come up with a little last play trick shot down the other end, which he's more than capable of doing, to give him an early try.
How much will fatigue come into it during this second half? Because we talk about Australia not being used to a tough game. I mean, that will have taken a lot out of England, that first 40, and you don't want the mental fatigue to then lead to mistakes.
It'll take a lot out of both sides. You know, the Aussies are under no illusion. This is going to be a tough game. It's going to be a battle, and that's exactly what they've got. So I think fatigue is going to be the same for both sides here.
Yeah, definitely. I think hopefully England will be able to perform as they did in the opening game of the tournament, where they come out and they dominated. If they dominate physically, then what they'll do is be able to control the fatigue factor and hopefully have a little bit more in the tank.
40 minutes away we are from knowing who will win the Rugby League World Cup of 2017. Back to Brisbane and Ian Millwood, Brian Noble and Dave Woods.
Well, it's all on, isn't it? 1954 they first played for this trophy, the Paul Barrier Trophy. Great Britain 16, France 12 all those years ago. It's the only final that Australia haven't figured in ever since. In the 14 finals that we've now had since, they've only failed to win on 4 occasions, Australia. And they're leading at the moment at half-time here. Can England build on that first half performance? Is there an explosion of Australian points to come here? So many questions, and here comes the answers. With 40 minutes left to play, Australia get first touch of the ball in this second half. And they get the first feeling of an Alex Walmsley shoulder as well. Brian Noble, Ian Millward, what do you reckon this second half now?
I just think England's improvements revolve around being a bit more patient in the attacking zone, and they've got to maintain their concentration without saying against this Australian team, and get them to the point where the Aussies weren't struggling as such. They don't struggle in that kind of pain, but they looked under pressure towards the back end of that first half.
There's Tyson Frizzell, who's taken Australia on tackle 5, just short of 10 metres inside the England half. Cronk's under just a little bit of pressure from Curry as he hoists that high. Oh, and Widdop has put it down. There's no hiding place for Gareth Widdop right at the start of this second half. Barely a flicker of emotion almost from the England coach. But he knows, we all know, this is a big mistake for England to make.
It's the easiest catch he's had in the whole tournament. How does it happen? Well, it's a concentration. There's a lot of factors, but he's the most skillful player in our game of rugby league, and it's like Lionel Messi missing a goal wide open. It does happen.
It's what you do next that counts.
100%.
And the team.
And you ask who would be happy at the moment. I think both coaches are happy because they're both in the battle. This will test England's line defence, which has been outstanding in this tournament.
So here come Australia. First wave of green and gold in the second half. Kevin Brown puts his body where it hurts and makes the tackle on Slater. But here they come again. Regan Campbell-Gillard, 5 metres away. Smith from dummy half, looking left. Australia trying to pick a path through these England defenders. Graham comes crashing over the top, adding his weight to that defensive situation. Now it's with Smith, not the best of passes, slows things down a little bit. Cronk takes it on. It's Gillett who tries to spin his way through. And England holding on here. Early tackles in this second half. Another big crash, bang, wallop effort again, but England's defenders are used to taking those on. Back it comes to Cronk on tackle 6. The little chip over the top, and Widdop. This time, that catch is about 58 times more difficult than the first, but boy, he nailed that one.
And that's what you do next. When the pressure kicks on, you put your body on the line and make up for that earlier one.
And you know, the better players don't dwell on mistakes. They move on straight away because their team needs them to move on, and they come up with good actions. And that was a great action.
So they're back to where they might have been had Widdop not dropped the ball initially. England ploughing their way out of trouble. Bateman down the middle here. likes to be there, loves a physical confrontation. Roby again. Gale gets the kick. It's charged down, so this... Oh, no, it's still the sixth tackle. The referee's got his arm in the air. It's still the sixth tackle.
He charged that down.
Yeah, he advanced towards the ball. So there's the kick from Widdop, and it's actually allowed out of play by Dane Gagai. Is there a chance of the referee changing his mind here? I think England players will get in his ear.
Well, here's the catch from Widdop. Wow, what a catch. Well done, Gareth Widdop.
Gareth looked up at the referee and he had his hand up, so he knew his last tackle. He deliberately kicked that towards the sideline because he didn't want an open running field of Slater. All of a sudden they're defending the 40-metre line. Very smart. Kick it in a touch. Look at the composure they can get in their defence. Get set. Go again.
Yeah, great call. I think Slater might have had a crack at that if he'd have seen the open field. I think he was eager for a run there.
Heads in the back, all the way in, Cameron. All the way, Gareth.
Well, it's more like chess than drafts, this game, isn't it?
It is, Dave.
It's picking positions, plotting 2 moves ahead.
There we go.
Australia with a slight advantage at the moment, but it is only slight. And here's Morgan, and this is Slater. And England's defenders, Watkins doesn't quite get up there, but slowed things down just a little on Gagai. So Slater stands and waits a dummy half again. Oh, and it's Dugan who just seems to have a little bit of a loose carry there, but he's kept a hold. Inside the English half, Smith again. Shuffled forward by McLean. Referee cries held. 3 tackles still to go. Cronk with a step back on the inside, almost loses his shorts and then does lose his feet as Widdop comes in to make the tackle. 2 tackles away here, Australia. Slater again, comes left, Dugan. Oh, McGilvray with the interception. Great catch from Jermaine McGilvray. Off he goes towards the halfway line. Dancing inside, they swarm around him. But it was a heroic play by someone who's been an English hero in this World Cup. And from the brink of despair, England are launching themselves back at the Kangaroos again here.
It wasn't despair, he actually read the play really, really well, and England did as well, because Cronk had made the initial break, and then we find ourselves at the other end of the field. Credit England, McGilvray's picked one out of the skies there.
This is Brown inside now for Burgess, Tom Burgess to push on again. Still a couple of tackles to go. James Graham back to Gale. Gale, the dummy runner's coming through. Bateman brings it on. Can't get a pass away. They're on the last.
Why is that not a penalty?
A lot of mauling going on. Gale again kicks it flat across that Australian line, and Dugan has cleverly just put a foot in the in-goal area. It's a poor kick that, because Australia get the tap on the 20. It's a 7-tackle play, and Dugan's on his way again. Well, bouncing away, still going here, Dugan. Great play from Josh Dugan in that last 30 seconds or so.
Had to be a better kick there to apply the pressure, because they jumped straight into their attack off the back of McGilvray. Looked a good set of 6, but they needed to put some closure at the back end of the kicking game.
Matt Gillett, oh, he's ripped all the way through, heading towards the line, but Widdop was in his way. Big tackle. Inside it goes to McLean. Does a full 360, comes back from whence he came. Morgan's got a bit of space. This time he has the footwork. Michael Morgan is in for Australia's second, but the referee is going to ask for a second opinion here. He says try on the field.
You need to walk away now.
Well, that was firm.
To ensure that the defence is not disadvantaged by a player in front of the ball.
Let's hear from Ben Thaler, the video ref.
We're looking for obstruction and making sure that there is no man impeded. Please. So we have a try on field. At this point we're fine. At this point we've got nobody ahead of the ball. Goes back across. Is anybody ahead of the ball? We have a decision there to make on 9. Right, that's the ruling we have to make. Can we go back to that, please? If you would. So it's on Smith. He runs behind Smith. I don't need to see any more. I've got my decision and I'm going to the board.
Here we go. I don't think this is going to suit the Aussie crowd. They're not going to like this. No try. Obstruction. The Rambian Cameron Smith. It was as clear as day.
Yeah, correct decision. What happens is the player has to get advanced past the defensive line. He stayed in the defensive line. And even though Elliott Whitehead knew that he may not have got there, he used Smith to say, I'm not going to get there because you're between me and you haven't advanced through the defensive line. So, correct decision. Let's open up quick, Brian. We've seen three clean breaks. We've seen Cronk, we've seen Gillette, we've seen Morgan there, we've seen McGilvray got the 8-1. So we're starting to see that attrition of war in the first half now develop into some of the breaks.
It's just gone end-to-end all of a sudden. Oh, get that into you.
Boyd Courtner on Elliott Whitehead, and somebody needs to tell Elliott what day of the week it is, I think. Saturday, Elliott, get up, play the ball.
That was a good shot.
Oof. There's no disguising the discomfort here. Ooh, there's a clash of heads as well.
He's a tough Bradford kid, he'll get up. Just hit him on the chin with his head.
He keep hold of the ball. He's okay. He's okay. He plays on, and England play on. Roby out of dummy half. Graham will take it on. 8 minutes already played in this second half. Just that one score in it. Back comes Walmsley. Oh, the ball springs free. It's another big Aussie hit, and Bailey Slater, danger here, but England have it covered quickly. Well done, Luke Gale. Smith. Gillett. Wayne Bennett, his coach, of course, here at Brisbane. Australia looking back on the inside. England's defence doing a job at the moment. Cameron Smith again. Striding forward goes Jordan McLean. Aaron Woods is still down there on the touchline. Sure, we'll see him before long. Now it comes left to Morgan. Stepped, but caught. Roby and Graham working in unison. 20 away. Cronk steps, and Dugan brings it back towards the middle again. There's Thomas Burgess on tackle 5. Here comes the last. Cameron Smith takes it down the blind side. There's the reverse kick. But Gareth Whittaker used to play alongside that Melbourne triumvirate, knew that was coming, and he had it covered easily.
Yeah, he had it covered well. His positioning has been great tonight, Gareth Whittaker, as we've said all the tournament. It's breaking open a little bit, this game, Ian.
Yeah, you're spot on, Brian, you're spot on. I think possession's going to be vital here at the moment. It's going to be vital that you get your end of your set of 6. You've got to control possession, which will build into pressure, will build into points, I believe.
Taken in by Chris Hyington. Fresh on the field in this second half. England have reached the final play again. Burgess, he doesn't want the ball in the hands on the 6th tackle. He's got a kick away. Whitehead just had a shirt pull as he chased it. There's trouble there for Dugan, who does manage to drop on it. Wasn't the best 6th tackle play from England, but it almost provided dividends.
There's signs of fatigue then when you don't get the pass to your kicker. They're little signs that you're sort of getting off your game. Now a penalty. It's one thing Wayne Bennett hates is penalties, and that's Sam's second for the game. Just that, when they got that 7 tackles, Australia, Brian, down that end, it took a lot out of England defending that set of 6, hadn't it? You know, the 7 tackles it was, and now they've had to defend their lines. It took a fair bit out of them.
It looks like it's going to be an individual that breaks this game up, because there's a bit of space opening, and both teams, to be fair, are losing a little bit of their structure, and I think it will be the individual on either side of this game that's going to break it open.
Graham going off there. We've just seen Chris Hill coming onto the field, by the way. It's England's muscular efforts in defence. Here's Cameron Smith, 30 metres out, dances to that left-hand side. It's Regan Campbell-Gillard, 22 metres out. Morgan throws the dummy, tries to thread through. Running out of tackles here, Australia. 2 to go. It's Dugan. It's a rather selfish effort from him. England will take that. So the final play in the set, swung back to Cameron Smith, swung further to Cooper Cronk. His kick's measured towards the wing. It's taken well enough in the air, but Ryan Hall was always going to be forced back into the in-goal area again. England had to drop out underneath the sticks. Australia should be hitting them again with another wave of pressure coming soon.
And there's an example for our viewers at home in the UK. That one end of the field, we don't quite manufacture the kick that creates the pressure, and Australia are quite prepared to do that when the game's got scruffy and is likely to break open.
You can learn from great players, and that's what a great player does. He knows how to build pressure in the key moments of the game. Spot on, Brian. They're the little differences. They only seem minimal, but they swing the game.
And the skill levels in producing a kick, flight perfect under the pressure that Cronk was under there.
I think as coaches used to use the terminology, he could put it on a sixpence, and he can.
There's the dropout. Here comes the return. Regan Campbell-Gillard. Little minor tremors around Queensland as he takes it in. Frizzell now.
The collision's brutal.
They've been likened to 40-mile-an-hour car crashes, haven't they? And they run at each other in full speed. Oh, Morgan! Well, he almost got through before to score, and he's tackled. He's played that ball out of the tackle. Well, there's a little bit of a brain explosion from Michael Morgan.
Well, England need to take this because they've been let off the hook there, in essence, so they've got to get down to the other end of the field and try and stay there, because they won't keep getting so many opportunities. I've said before that it's breaking open this game, and one-on-ones are being missed on both sides because of fatigue, and England need to manage this situation really well.
And Morgan's been the main instigator. Every time he's touched the ball here this period, Brian, especially around Kevin Brown here at the moment, they're very keen to target around him. They're making untold metres, but also threatening the score.
That's Whitehead again. Clipping another big effort from defence from Cordner and Campbell-Gillard. He's had his chops rattled a time or two in this match. Now it's Sam Burgess. Roby stands and waits at dummy half. Hill on the inside, putting that footwork on. He's got great footwork for such a big fella. Occupying the minds as well as the bodies of the Australians as he runs it in. Gale, Widdop, Bateman on the step. They're getting closer. Hall inside for Gale. Here's Heighington. Head snaps back, tries to twist the body, but can't get in a comfortable position to offload, so takes the tackle. Now it comes left. Gale has it, runs it in. It's Widdop who's in for. Bateman with a quick pass away. Hall back to Bateman. Here's Widdop again. Widdop with a kick. Oh, it springs off an Australian player. Where's this going? Bounces all over the place. Offside is a call in the end. England get the penalty. Australia was in total confusion for a moment.
Extremely unlucky not to score a try. And the skill level there, once again, their desire to keep the ball alive. Widdop was a smart one. He said, hey, listen, let's leave it at that. We've done all right with the skill. Let's get the ball in the in-goal. Then when it ricocheted, that could have went to anyone. I thought Roby was going to get that.
Great chance for England. Hill drives it in. England is a chant around this old Lang Park, Suncorp Stadium as they call it these days. Widdop with a step back towards the middle again. Dragged to the ground. Here's Roby. Waits patiently. Burgess dummies to Heighington. Puts in the shoulder. Looks around desperately for support. Almost gets there himself. Roby waits again. Hoists it back. Gale. Widdop. Now Watkins extricates himself from one tackle. Two more in green and gold wrap themselves around him. So Whitehead picks it up. Back to the middle again. Gale with a little kick through. Brown was on the chase, but it was covered well enough. And Australia have it back. Oh, they've lost the ball there. What's the referee given? He's given an penalty for offside.
Brian, I feel when they get down this end of the park, England, they're going to have to come to their right-hand side, because Callum Watkins got a true pass to put a winger away, where when it gets to Bateman, I feel like he lacks that ability to set up his winger. And I think it's this right-hand side against Dugan and Morgan, lesser than the other side, with especially with Watkins.
Yeah.
He looks threatening, doesn't he?
Absolutely right. I think they've been threatening the whole tournament and set some players up where you can have maybe two cracks at that instead of six.
Two balls on the field, so the referee will just hold things up a minute. And as Chambers to climb to his feet, gives England an extra nanosecond to try and get some air back in their lungs. It's a difficult day for physical exertion. That's Aaron Woods. Here's Smith. Clemmer's back out there as well. The starting props in unison again here for Australia. Smith, 35 metres out. Cooper Cronk up to the line and inviting Boyd Cordner to try and find an angle. But England had it covered again. It's on the last. Cronk goes left. Dugan's not going to pass. Not when he's got to, climbing all over him. And that six-tackle play ends, and England get it back again.
Dave, have a look who's in that tackle. Chris Hill. He worked his way across there. He's seen the threat. He said, I've got to help my teammates. I've got to work hard from the inside. He has turned in one of his best performances for England tonight.
He saved his best for tonight. You're absolutely right there, Ian.
Hold, Cameron. Hold. Go, one.
It's Gale. Here's Burgess. Sam Burgess.
Move, Cameron.
Looking to put on one of those block-busting runs down the middle.
Aaron. Go, two.
McGilvray.
Michael, heads off.
Roby.
Go, three.
Hyington just to his left, and Hyington will fling himself at that Australian line.
Major change in the game here at the moment. Brown's come off. He's put Widdop up to 6 and Lomax the fullback. He's trying to inject some attack into him here at the moment. Wayne Bennett, the coach.
Well, that's a good kick from Gale. If it stays in, oh, it's just overcooked. So what could have been a great kick turns into an average kick because Australia have a tap restart on the 20. 7 tackles to go again.
Do you know something, Dave? That's the difference between the teams at the moment, is the quality of the finish at that end of the field.
Spot on.
James, look over there. Hold, Sam.
7 tackles takes a lot out of you, and you know you're defending down in your half at the back end of this set.
And that change, is that a response, do you feel, to Brown's defensive involvement, or does it give England an extra edge in attack with the way he's made that change?
Both it is. Both. He knows they're targeting, but he also needs some fresh legs and something different to break up Australia.
Here's Woods.
Hands away. Pick it up.
Tackle 3.
Hold. Go, 3.
You can't play in a test match like this without patience. Australia showing plenty of it,
Pick it up.
but so too are England.
Go, 4.
Smith again.
Line on, 4.
Comes left. Here's Maguire. Trying to steal an extra yard or two, trying to get the quick play the ball. Does, and on the 6, Cameron Smith picks it up and threads it into the in-goal area. Where's that going? Luckily for England, it's out on the bounce. It'll be a tap back on the 20. And Lomax, with a fresh pair of legs, wants to get on with it here. And England will start their tackle count from there, 35 from their own
Great
line.
start, Johnny Lomax. Quick 12 metres. Oof.
What about working in goal, not panicking, not tapping it dead and going, but patience, buy some time.
Ryan Hall. Just inside Australian territory. Roby, Bateman. Bateman again, testing them out. There is all. What have you got, fellas? Plenty. Roby again, inside. Gale, Hyington. Gathers the ball safely in around his midriff and then challenges the Australian psyche again.
Go, 4.
2 tackles to go in the set. Gale has to come right. An interchange with Whitehead. Watkins searching back down the middle.
Last tackle, David.
They're on the last.
Go.
It's a little dummy by Roby. He's dropped it off backwards. Lomax kicks it on. The ball's in the in-goal area. Lomax will be denied any form of glory. The referee quickly says knock on. Hand over.
Will end up a better result for England. You don't want that ball going dead and being 7 tackles. It's only going to be 6 because it's a handover from the knock-on.
Hold, Chris.
Oh, he knew it was last tackle. He was trying to release it.
Hold. Go.
I'd like to see England get some back-to-back sets so Roby can come into the game and run from dummy half. Because both teams are getting fatigued. This has been one final.
It has been epic in terms of the physical nature of what's gone into this. Knock on by Gaga. By Holmes, rather. Valentine Holmes as he took it in. Another great position for England to start from here.
And you sense something might happen. They've been looking dangerous. An error there from Valentine Holmes, uncharacteristic. Yeah, Mal's feeling it too.
Yeah. I think viewers have got to also understand our game does score a lot of tries. Our game is based on scoring tries, but tonight we're seeing defence and brutal defence and putting your body on the line has been the most dominant factor here tonight so far.
Cover to the back, Bucky.
Come on, England. Just echoes around this stadium again. 5,000 English fans travelling around Australia and New Zealand, following their side in this tournament. They'd love to see history made here tonight, but it's Australia with a slight advantage at the moment. Gale takes it on, and out it goes to Lomax. Lomax putting on the step. It's Hall. Bateman.
He's tough, isn't he, John Bateman?
Stand up there, pick it up, John.
Gale, Hyington, drawing the attention of Aaron Woods and Clemmer, and also Josh Maguire, but still having a little bit of a push right at the end of it. Roby, Sam Burgess with a ball to Chris Hill, 2 yards away from scoring his first ever international try. Roby puts it back. Burgess, Sam Burgess, nothing on, so had to take that in. Roby again, here comes Widdop, threads it to the in-goal area. Dugan's got it, Widdop tries to get to him, they're smashing at him, but Dugan plays a hero's role for the Australians by getting out there and getting it back in the field of play. This is incredible stuff. It's a rock and a hard place, a little thumping against each other.
But that's where Brian keeps hammering the point. There, the little James Kane game changes. Repeat set there, changes the game, doesn't it, Brian? They haven't been able to fill that action tonight, England.
6 tackle, Smith just clobbers it downfield. Looking for some relief. Asking England's backs to do some of the hard work. This is Hall. Australia's line is not quite straight yet. They're struggling to get up there. Lomax. Freshest player on the park, Johnny Lomax. Bateman.
Break either way is going to break this game over. You sense something's going to come in the next 5 minutes. It's that tension's built. Wow, what a game.
Here's Hill, Chris Hill. Good carry. Cordner does the job of hanging around his ankles. He's looking pushed at the moment. Inside ball, Sam Burgess coming on with intent. Have a look at Boyd Cordner. He looks like he's running on empty. 6 tackle, by the way. Gale, left-footed kick high. Underneath it is Gagai. Slater looks for space, none found. Good England chase again. Clemmer and Woods, they're almost defending an England line.
That inside ball's going to come into play now. We talk about passing the ball inside, but it's got to be a quick person, not a Burgess. It's got to be a Lomax, someone with speed who can utilise that space up the inside.
Here's Valentine Holmes taking Australia 10 metres inside the England half. Morgan, Dugan. There you can see Boyd Cordner running on empty, only just gets off the field. What a game he's put in. 6 tackle, Cooper Cronk chips it over the top. Billy Slater's after this. Lomax underneath it. Oh, it's an England ball in the end.
Gee, I thought Lomax had tipped that forward. Clearly I was wrong, the referee got it right.
I'll tell you who else is looking absolutely bushed is Billy Slater. Look at Boyd Cordner. Looks like he's played 3 matches tonight.
I made the point to Brian at half-time. Last week they had a really easy game, Australia, 50-something points. Does that harden them for the back end of this game, or does the Tonga game England had, which was physical and tight at the end, harden them?
Well, there's 16 minutes left to play, and from what we learnt last week in that Tongan game, that's plenty enough time for a hat-trick of tries. Oh, here goes Watkins! Just had his ankle tapped, I think, by Dugan and lost his footing. Whitehead was up on the inside, had he not. England still have it. 6 tackle play. Across the line they go to try and stretch Australia. Gale runs away. Back inside for Hyington. Here's Roby. The pass to ground. Hill picks it up. Launches it out wide to Whitehead again. Whitehead with a kick. Hits an Australian, but it's still the 6 tackle. Now it's James Graham. Here comes Widdop. Widdop with a great step. And a second. Widdop. And the kick towards the corner. McGilvray's after it. Morgan has it. But that's a drop out underneath the sticks, and a great passage of play from England.
Brilliant.
Love it.
Walk about this ankle tap from Dugan. He was gone, Callum Watkins. Oh, don't do it to us. And then the last play from man of the tournament, Gareth Widdop, and the tackle from McGilvray. Boy, they deserve something from this. They got a back-to-back set here, and the Australians are on their haunches.
I don't think we can appreciate it back at home there with people watching on the TV is the amount of players England had on the inside on Watkins. They had more white jumpers than green ones, but the desperation for Australia at the back end has proven the difference here. 14 and a half minutes, and you wouldn't know who's going to win this game.
Well, the Australians behind the line are sucking up oxygen here like it's running out quickly. Trying to get themselves ready. England, what a big set of 6 to come here. Burgess off the field for the time being. Australia, the boos of the England fans because they're wasting their time here to try and get as much back in the tank as England bring it back again. Here comes Hill. Rattles into them on play one. 32 yards away. Graham stepping it forward again. There's a World Cup up for grabs here. And these are moments that could write the destiny. Widdop to Watkins. Watkins to McGilvray. Steps back on the inside. Aussies are bouncing off that big left shoulder. But too many arrive to slow him down. Whitehead. Widdop. Hyington sizes up Clemmer, takes on him and Woods. The two props hold on. 2 tackles to go. Graham again. What a step. Roby ducks. He'd have known that the shadows were closing in, that he wasn't going to get through. So the last play in the set. Graham. Now it's Widdop. The bounce is beyond and behind McGilvray. And another England opportunity just slips by.
We're lucky here, we're watching the game live. We can see bodies off the ball here are absolutely gasping for air. Australia at the moment, if they had a choice, they'd like to call time out. They are absolutely out. England are getting buoyed because they can see at 6-0 they're so close to scoring. They're the ones gaining confidence here at the back end of the game.
13 minutes to go.
Stand up, Chris, get square, hold, go, 1.
Australia with just that one try. It's getting towards the unbearable in terms of tension. Can England rewrite history here? Or is Australia set fair? Cameron Smith, English voices filling the night air in Brisbane as Woods takes it in. Cooper Cronk goes right. Step by Chambers. They've covered some decent ground here, Australia. But they've only one play to go. They've only one place to go. Cooper Cronk, who kicks it out of play, and again just slows the clock down, slows the tempo down. England will start 15 out, but everybody gets a break.
Well, that's an indication from Cooper Cronk what Australia are thinking. They're thinking sideline rest, finish this game if they can. England have to pick up that mantle, pick up the glove from the floor and say, we'll keep playing the way we're doing with our structure. We'll get to the other end of the field, and we will find a score.
Well, the talk from the England camp all week has been about belief. And these are the moments where belief is going to be tested and resolve. They start from deep. They're still behind. Hall. They've had their chances. They've had their moments. So far, those have been squandered. Whitehead shapes the pass, takes them on instead. Roby, an 80-minute character, but even he will be drained. Hill, what a great carry again by a prop forward.
To the top game.
Rolls away. Roby to Graham. Graham to Gale. Gale out to Curry. Curry, we know he's got pace, but he can't quite put a dagger through the hearts of the Australians there. Lomax picks it up. Hyington, great from him. Put England in a good position here, but they've only got one tackle left again. Roby, left to Gale. Gale slides it in, chases it himself, pops up for Slater. He's faced those situations down a million times in his career, Billy Slater. And he comes up trumps again.
England look the stronger here. England definitely look the stronger.
Australia with the toughest of tough yards to do from inside their own 20. England not wanting to give an inch here. Dugan put down.
Here we are, Chris. Hold. Go, 4.
Bodies being urged into situations that minds are saying are unreachable, but every time someone comes up with a big effort. Lomax is going to watch this out of play. Could he have made a play at that?
Well, Australia didn't want him to. And I'm not sure if England players really wanted him also too, because they just need a little bit of break here. But the difference between the two teams at the moment, Australia are playing at the moment, they're shut up shop. They just want to get up the end of the field, kick the ball in the touch. They're holding a lead, and they've got the two best exponents in the world of rugby league, Cameron Smith at 9 and Cronk. England just need to turn a couple of these kicks down that other end into repeat sets, because they look the fresher and they look the more hardened for the battle at the moment.
Well, the Burgess boys are ready to return. Sam and Tom. And it's worth me telling you at this stage that golden point extra time is what would happen if England score a try and a goal and the score stay at 6-6. A draw takes us into golden point extra time. So it's one score that England need at this stage. Bateman still carrying it hard. Chambers was shaken off, but Cronk was there. Roby. Tom Burgess almost going through. Now picked up by Roby again. Here's Graham. It's with Widdop. Widdop! Interception almost by Valentine Holmes. It was a handling error from being Australia's World Cup.
Well, there's your repeat set for England, though.
Instead, it's England who get the ball back.
Well, game on. And keep in mind, they had them stripped for numbers. He had to come in and try and take that ball. Otherwise, they had him for numbers. That's this side again. I'll keep repeating this right-hand side that would have stepped up here, the Callum Watkins and McGilvray. That's the side I think they're going to nail them, Brian, if they are to nail them.
I agree.
Valentine Holmes has scored 11 tries in his last 2 games. I think he would swap all 11 just to have caught the ball on that occasion. So Widdop feeds the scrum. England start to set 30 metres out. Here comes Tom Burgess again to drive it in. And he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball. He can complain all he likes. The referee's not going to change his mind. Was there a hand there?
It was definitely a hand there, but it is still his responsibility.
You can see the head sink to the ground. He knew, didn't he?
Yeah. And that Wayne shows no emotion, and that's the most I've ever seen him show emotion in his coaching career, because that's not the first time tonight they've had a repeat set and they've turned the ball over on early rucks when they've had the opportunity to go for the throw.
Heads in the back, Johnny. Luke. Heading, Cameron. Climb on.
Australia's feed, Australia's ball. Happy to carry for 5 and kick on the last. Dugan with the first of those. England want to shake this ball free if they can. Try and create a mistake. Smith. They just pummel it downfield. Here's Maguire. You can almost say the script will end with a Cronk or a Smith kick to touch here. Frizzell. That's tackle 4. In fact, it's only the 3rd. Still got 3 to go. Here's Graham. Oh no, it was. It's a miscount from the stats man. That was the 5th. So here comes Cronk. In fact, he's not gone to touch. He's put it high. Lomax underneath it. Safety first. Steps inside, but Australia won't mind that. They've got England pinned 5 from their own line.
Well, that's where they want England. People like McGilvray and Hall and Watkins have managed to find field position for England as well, and are at it again.
Is there a moment of rugby league history still to be written? Or have we seen already how this World Cup final plays out? England running out of time. Australia running out of energy. It's a question of which hits zero first. Gale's going for a kick downfield. It's not a 40-20. It's just a case of putting Australia down there and trying to force a mistake again. But here comes Gagai, running it back. Widdop's up there to make the tackle. Australian players out on their feet, walking, limping back behind the play the ball. 6.5 minutes to go. In by Graham. Cameron Smith. It's a game that's played at walking pace. It's like a heavyweight boxing contest in the last round where they've both given everything and there's nothing left to give. Here comes Morgan. There goes Graham. That's tackle 5. Smith comes left. Morgan kicks towards the touchline. Lomax is careful. Gathers up on the bounce. England need a break from somewhere. Oh, the break was almost Lomax's ribs. But he's brave enough to get up and play it on. Now it's Hall. Gale. Bateman. They're struggling to make yards. 10 made so far, another 80 needed in 3 tackles. Tom Burgess. Swinging away, pushing on, lost the ball, but it's a penalty. This time it was stolen. And that was just what England needed.
Well, you've got the crowd under pressure as well, because they're all booing, the Aussie crowds, and here's the strip there. It's a loose carry for me, but I'll take it every day of the week.
In the NRL, he drops the ball too many times, and it's one of the big bugbear of all of his coaches. He drops the ball too many times. He's on the favourable side there. Wow, strap yourself in here.
Well, it's now or never, Ian, for this English team.
Well, wherever you're watching, this next 5 minutes will not be comfortable, whoever you're supporting. 2 balls on the field, they'll just have to wait to kick one off. Roby, inside to Widdop. This is Gale. Had a very good game tonight, hasn't he? Luke Gale. Roby. Now Burgess, ball comes out again, but it's gone. Oh, the referee says forward in the tackle. A knock on from Tom Burgess. A look of steely-eyed fury and frustration from him. And Australia get valuable possession back again.
Well, it happens too many times in his career. I mentioned there a minute ago. But have a look at the technique of the tackle. He's gone up through underneath the ball to force the error. Technique for a young guy watching that there, and you just feel they're getting deflated, England, because they're coming down here and they lose the ball on early rucks, and to win the game they need the ball. Unfortunately, a couple of key players are giving up too easy.
Well, for me, the error count there, 11-4, that's too high, way too high to win a game of this magnitude. They've been brilliant, England, tonight. I'm not taking anything away from what they've done.
No, but they're making it hard for themselves, Brian. Where Australia are there to be taken over. They're just hanging in there, like Brian said. It's like a boxing event. They're rocking around the ring at the moment.
Look at Graham. Wow, he went flying out of the line. He couldn't quite knock Maguire away. But he certainly left a big bruising mark on the Maguire ribs. Corden has recovered a bit of a fuel. He's back on the field to help this Australian cause at the last. This is Frizzell. 3.5 minutes to go. 1 score in it. Is that Boyd Corden a try in the 14th minute enough to win the World Cup again for Australia? Back it comes to Cronk. Oh, he tried to find touch. It rattles against an England leg and Lomax picks it up. We're very, very nearly at the this is it stage, aren't we, here? Maybe one more set for this for England.
Oh no, they'll get 2 more sets. This is the key set here where they get a penalty. They need their outside backs to come in and to make the easy meters so they can come up with an attacking kick.
Roby's seen a little bit of disruption in the defensive line, but it's recovered its poise quickly enough. Lomax goes out of dummy half. There's the 5th. Here we go. Gale puts it high in the air. It's a kick and a hope. But it's Slater underneath that. made a huge error when the World Cup final was played here in 2008 that gave New Zealand the game. But no sign of an error so far from his performance tonight. Gagai. Dealt with by Ryan Hall. It's now a question of seconds rather than minutes. Knock on. England's head and feed. Hope lifts again with 2 minutes to play. You look at those around, they're standing up. They can't bear to sit down because of the nerves and the tension. He realises his side have got one last chance. This is it. This is it. 2 minutes to go. This will almost certainly be England's last set if they don't score. Gale with a pass to Widdop. Now it's Lomax. Crunch by 2. Roby picks up. Whitehead takes it on. Tom Burgess desperately keeping hold of the ball this time. Roby's here, less than 20 away. Graham to Gale, the kick is on, the chase was blocked. Australia have it. It was a gamble, but why do they go so early? Australia will lie on the ball, they'll slow it down. And England will hardly see this ball again here now. The clock stopped, 90 seconds to go, and I think that Sam Burgess reaction there was more out of frustration for his own team's cause rather than anything that Australia have provoked.
Look, I think Gale's played extremely well today, but if you marked his kicking game against Cronk and that, he doesn't equal with them today. They've been far superior than there. I just felt it smacked of impatience, you know what I mean, instead of, you know, the clock's still there. An average set of 6 is 45 seconds. So you're going to have a chance to get 2 sets anyway.
Well, England have never been closer to lifting a World Cup trophy than they have been here tonight. And in many ways, that makes it even more unbearable for England's supporters. Almost the last minute. Australia will just drive it downfield. And then on the 5th, they'll kick it. Welly it, as Brian Noble says, as far downfield as they can. Cooper Cronk. So 50 seconds to go, and it's going to take some heroics here for England to rescue this situation. 40 seconds left. Here's Ryan Hall. Gale, inside for Widdop. Now it comes to Whitehead. This is Watkins. Watkins to McGilvray. Too many Australian players there for him to have any hope. 25 seconds out. Burgess, Tom Burgess, over the halfway line. Roby, Graham, they'll give it all to the last here. Hall's come into the line. Back it goes to Curry. Curry throws it in now. It's with Gale and Widdop. The countdown is on. The next time it goes out of play, it's all over. Watkins makes the break. Inside for McGilvray. McGilvray with a kick. Morgan has it covered. There were England players on the inside. But those England players sink to their knees in utter desperation. It's relief as much as celebration for Australia, because they have been pushed to the absolute limits by that England side tonight. But somehow, England couldn't quite find a way through. What a game, but it is Australia who are world champions again.
Oh, we're exhausted, so imagine what the players feel like. But if you mark them, they were the deserved winners, Australia, because they were more clinical. But I keep coming back to that Callum Watkins ankle trip when he had them done. He had numbers either side of him, and somehow someone's got a little pinky on someone's little toe and made him.
Well, that's the difference at the highest level. That's the difference at the highest level. A cruel test in relation to this team, because they've been brilliant and grown into the tournament, and in many people's minds, that man there, it's a courageous defeat. It's easy for me to say that, but Wow, what a game.
Well, I think Dave mentioned like a boxing event. This went to the points decision. And there was no knockouts. It was a points decision to Australia.
Well, the body language tells its own story, doesn't it? It's not that they've lost, it's how close they came.
Well, going through your mind at the moment, if you're an England player, is all the opportunities we didn't sort of grasp, where the Australians are looking at each other going, that's what you do as a team. You work for your mate and you keep defending, you keep turning up. And England are in a great position here to propel where they want to go forward with this group of men, because they've shown they're equal. They just need to take some opportunities, which you spoke about before the game, Brian, and we all spoke about. But Australia were very clinical.
Well, there's an absolute agony in defeat. I think they could have been beaten here by 48 points to nil tonight, and they would not have felt as they feel at the moment. Sometimes it's the hope that kills you. And England had more than plenty of hope tonight. We're going to be hearing from one or two of those that have taken part in that incredibly tough game of rugby league here tonight. Let's go down to the pitch side. I think Brett Camorley might be speaking with Billy Slater down there. I'm not sure who he's got, but Cameron Smith as well. I think he's got lined up as well. I think.
Well, Cameron Smith, congratulations for winning the World Cup. Can you describe how this feels?
Oh, it's amazing, mate, to finally get a World Cup victory on home soil. It's been a quite a long time, and a lot of hard work's gone into it. This, I reckon that was one of the toughest football games I've played my entire career, Noddy. So really pleasing victory for the boys. Like I said, it's been a fairly hard road to this one over the last 2 years. You know, we want to put ourselves back to number one. We've gone back-to-back World Cup victories now, and you know, it's very happy to have the Kangaroos as the best team in the world.
Mal had always said everything comes off the back of the defensive effort. The attitude you guys showed today, you must be extremely proud.
Oh, absolutely. We spoke in the very first meeting of our campaign about defence, and that it wins the big matches, but it wins tournaments as well. And you know, what have we conceded 16 points over 6 games. That's pretty remarkable effort. But especially tonight, I don't know how many tackles that England had inside our 20-metre zone. They had plenty, but we just kept turning them around. So really happy for all the boys. A couple of the old fellas who got another World Cup victory, and a couple of new faces as well. You know, their first go to World Cup, and they've won it. So really happy for everyone.
We're not sure if it's the last time we'll see the three of you back together. Obviously, it's a good celebration for you.
Yeah, it is. It's oh look, we've had a remarkable year, the three of us. You know, club, state, and now country. It's you know, we're very fortunate to play in some pretty talented sides with some great footballers, and yeah, we're very thankful that we've had the opportunities that we've had over our career. And if this is the last time we ever get to play together, it's a special memory to have for a long time.
Very special memory. Congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, Noddy. Thanks, mate.
Also have one of the other stars of the big three, Billy Slater. Can you describe winning a World Cup?
Oh, look, it's very rewarding, Noddy. It's you know, a lot of hard work to get here. They don't come around every year, and you've got to be hitting your straps at the right time. So it's got a great group of guys here. A very young squad. There's a few old heads in there, but a really young squad, and I think it's good signs for the future.
Talking about the future, what is your future? Will we see you again in the green and gold?
Yeah, look, I really don't know, Noddy. You know, I think this will probably be my last green and gold jersey. I don't know what I'm doing at the end of next year. I'll more than likely retire, and that'll probably mean finish up at the end of the season and let someone else take over the last test match next year. So, well, look, I don't know 100% just yet, but I'll soak in this moment as if it's my last.
Obviously, we saw you celebrate the grand final. We now get to celebrate you playing for Australia and coming back. You've had a lot of hard work, didn't you? Did you think this would have happened again?
Oh, look, I really didn't look this far ahead, Noddy. It was really short term, and I just wanted to get my shoulder right for life after footy, and then it got to a point where I could get back and play for the Storm, and then representative come off the back of that. I always loved playing for Australia, and being on this tour at the end of the year was definitely something that I really enjoyed, as the kids here. So, yeah, look, I really didn't look at the big picture.
Mate, we've loved having you back. Appreciate it, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Oh, I wish you could have thrown one back into play in this game rather than the one back in 2008. As Dave said, Sam, right at the end of the commentary, it's the hope that kills you. If Australia had won 30-0, it kind of feels that would be easier to deal with, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, because we were so close, and the belief that everyone had before the game, it obviously wasn't misplaced, because the bounce of a ball, a couple of decisions, you know, if Josh Dugan had cut his fingernails before the game, there's a chance we could have won that.
Well, James Graham, we can see the emotion of the loss. You were so close, you were so brave, but just couldn't get there.
Yeah, exactly. Tough one to take, but yeah, I think both teams played really well. I know 6-0 probably doesn't advertise a great game, but what a spectacle.
Unbelievable defensive effort, unbelievable ability of both your sides just to continue to turn up. You looked out on your feet. Did you feel like you were a chance of getting that try?
Yeah, there was a couple of times where I thought, you know, the half break was on or whatever, but fair play to them for their scramble, and you know, we had to scramble pretty hard too. I think, you know, the try that they scored came off the back of 4 sets or something like that. So
England to be in the grand final of the World Cup again, it would have been something you maybe at the start thought that's where you want to get to?
Well, we wanted to be here, but we wanted one step further. You know that, mate. You know the dance here.
Yeah. Thanks for your time, James. Also have Gareth with it. Well, Gareth, we can see the distress on your face. Has it meant so much to you, and you did get extremely close?
Yeah, I'm gutted, mate. You know, we sacrificed a lot and worked so hard, and we were so close tonight. Certainly very disappointed, but certainly very proud of the boys and the effort they put in. The way this jersey with pride, and I certainly do. You know, we'll be back better for it.
You just couldn't get that try, I suppose. You had some quick play the ball, some momentum, but just Australia's ability to shut it down, or just that execution?
Yeah, just that little bit of execution, I think, on the end of it. We created a fair few line breaks, and we just couldn't finish. And they scrambled well to their credit, and in the end they were too good.
This group of players you got, you said there's some new players coming into it. Obviously, England in a good position going forward.
Yeah, we've certainly come a long way the last few years, and obviously we're weighing at the helm. From last year to this year, we've certainly improved a lot, and we're only going to keep improving. So, like I said, I'm so proud of the boys and the effort that they've put in over the last 7-8 weeks, and even last year. And like I said, certainly very disappointing, but you know, we'll have to move on from this.
Yeah, it was certainly a tough game, and obviously you're extremely brave, but thank you for your time.
All right, thanks, mate.
You can tell, can't you, just in their body language, in what they're saying, in how they've reacted at the end. I think they've missed an opportunity.
Oh, they definitely do, and they knew going into the game they had a genuine chance of winning it, and I thought the same too. I didn't think they would win, but I thought they would get close, and while you can say you'd rather lose by more, I'm really proud that they only lost 6-0. I think they deserve that, and I spoke to a lot of Englishmen all week, and they all said to me, "Oh, we'll compete for 60 minutes and they'll score 3 late tries." And I said, I don't think Australia can. I don't think they've got the attack in them. And you know, sure, disappointing they lost, but you know, Australia are playing at home at Brisbane and warm conditions, all that. And as Robbie's going to mention soon, you know, we fast forward 4 years, you know, the World Cup will be here, and you know, you'd take that. I think, you know, disappointing they didn't win England, but huge performance. You know, to only get beat 6-0.
I think we've as a country, we've proved a lot of people wrong, although we've not won.
Yep.
I think, you know, what you touched on there, Justin, people think, and I was when I played in a number of games against the Aussies, and we've been brilliant for 60 minutes. We could have won this game today. Yep. It is an opportunity missed, but you know, the bookmakers had us at 7-1 to win this game, exactly. And we could have won it with 5 minutes left, 2 minutes left.
So do you take great comfort in going toe-to-toe for 80 minutes and not going for just an hour and then collapsing?
I don't think we've played the Aussies in the last 5-6 years, and after the game thought one decision or one ankle tap and we'd have won it. It was literally that close. So I think there's massive. Obviously, everyone's gutted. I'm gutted as supporting the boys. The boys that are playing there will be, you know, it'll be tough to get over. But the bigger picture is we're making strides.
It's got to be a very humbling experience for the Australian team. You think about it. They're on home turf. England is stripped of 2 of their biggest assets in O'Loughlin and Hodgson. By all accounts, they were supposed to walk over England in this game. England haven't had the cohesion like you've got in the spine of the team with Australia. And to talk about this Super League versus NRL competition, where this is just proof in the pudding that the quality of this England squad and the quality of Super League throughout this entire tournament has been on show. And I think this was England's game to win. You know, there were 4 opportunities with Callum Watkins just on its own, passes just going behind the man, the ankle tap that we saw with Dugan. Their tries, England made more opportunities than Australia did. England's defence was absolutely supernatural today.
Ever since that Cricket World Cup of '99, when I think Steve Waugh uttered the phrase, "You've just dropped the World Cup," we always look for a moment that either wins the World Cup or loses the World Cup. Just very quickly, just that tackle from Dugan won Australia the World Cup.
It did, and it nearly, could have lost them. I said at half-time I thought they needed to attack Dugan, and that was the reason Watkins got around him, but then that ankle tap there, we talk about moments of fingernail, Sam said, was enough to get him over the line.
More reaction from Justin and Robbie and Sam here in the studio. Thank you for all your tweets that are coming in. Felix, I'm pleased we've turned up. It was a great final. Matt, I haven't sat down for the last hour. This game is absolute war. And Jason, I don't know that much about rugby league, but this has to be the most exciting game that I've ever seen. And Mark, the levels of fitness and toughness on display are phenomenal. I'm exhausted just watching it. Time for the presentation. Time for Australia to lift the 2017 Rugby League World Cup. Bill McDonald is your master of ceremonies. Dave Woods will take you through.
Welcome the chairman of Rugby League World Cup 2017, Dr. George Mahonis, OAM, and the Rugby League International Federation Chairman, Nigel Wood. And can we start tonight by please thanking the match officials, the referee of the World Cup final, Gerard Sutton, the touch judges, Chris Butler, Chris Kendall, and the video referee, Ben Thaler.
Well, it's hard to take, isn't it? You can read that on the body language of all those England players as the match officials take their memento of this World Cup final.
A big thank you to our match officials for this evening. It's been a great pleasure now, ladies and gentlemen, to announce the player of the match for the 2017 Rugby League World Cup final. He's been great right throughout the tournament. Put your hands together for Boyd Cordner of Australia.
Well, he scored the only try of the game in the first half. It was a match winner, as it proved. And Boyd Cordner is a hero in Queensland, the New South Wales skipper. He's the man of the match for Australia. It would have been a tough decision because, boy, there were some heroic performances by so many players on both sides.
World Cup campaign, and I'm sure you will also agree that the performance of England has really captured the support of all of us. Would you please welcome to the stage the players and the coach of England, led by their captain, Sam Burgess.
Well, this is the walk they didn't want to make, not in this order anyway. Jermaine McGillivray, Ryan Hall, leading up the rest of those England players, absolutely disconsolate, broken in defeat. It's been a fantastic effort, but they will look back at 1 or 2 missed opportunities. Moments that could have been magic. Luke Gale, James Roby, taking his medal from Nigel Wood, Gareth Widdop, Tom Burgess, Elliot Whitehead, who looks as though he'd been knocked out in that first half but came back, Bateman. Young Curry, Ben Curry, who's got a stellar career ahead of him, surely. Johnny Lomax came in late to the 17. Chris Hyington, Callum Watkins, who was an ankle tap away maybe from winning the World Cup for England. James Graham, Chris Hill, Sam Burgess, and behind them all, we await to see what his future is. But Wayne Bennett, for the moment, the England coach, and I think we're going to hear from the England captain on the night, Sam Burgess.
We'd like to hear from the captain.
Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Mal and Cameron for a great tournament. You've been very well played, very well drilled all tournament, tough to beat, so congratulations. I'd like to thank all our fans that have travelled. You've been fantastic. I couldn't have asked for anything more. I'd like to thank all the families, the ones that have made the trip over from England, the Australian-based ones, especially my family, my beautiful wife Phoebe, daughter Poppy, my mum and grandma. Love you very much. Thank you for coming to the game. You've put up with us for 8 weeks, being away from all our children and families, and we couldn't have done it without you, so thank you. Lastly, I want to thank my teammates, the squad, all the staff, everyone involved. It's been a great 8 weeks, gents. I couldn't have asked for any more. We've created some great memories. I'm good we couldn't go one more tonight. I love you all. I'll see you next year. Thank you.
Big thank you to Sam Burgess, ladies and gentlemen, and also all the players, coaching staff and the support team of England. Now, the 2017 Rugby League World Cup has been played in 13 venues across 3 great rugby league nations, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand and Australia. The tournament was a massive undertaking from a small team of hard-working and dedicated sport professionals who have delivered an outstanding tournament. We congratulate the Rugby League World Cup staff, the board and the executive.
So the Australian players,
the venues, commercial partners,
ready to go up there and collect their winners' medals and that trophy itself.
And hundreds of thousands of fans who have supported their teams right across Australia, New Zealand and Papua New Guinea. And also the millions who've watched this great game.
And he's right, it has been a fantastic World Cup. Well, all of those who were there last week for that semi-final against Tonga will not forget that. Likewise, when Tonga played New Zealand in Hamilton earlier in the tournament, the Tongan fans have been truly magnificent. A tournament lifting experience. Papua New Guinea and Port Moresby, all those full houses and fanaticism, the efforts of the likes of Wales and Scotland and Ireland and Italy and the United States. It's a tournament that's been going on for an awful long time. But this is the conclusion. The side in green and gold taking to the stage. Billy Slater up as the player of the tournament. What a comeback he has provided for the sporting world. Josh Dugan taking his place as well. Valentine Holmes, who's been absolutely prodigious in his try scoring. Cooper Cronk coming up onto the stage as well behind Michael Morgan. There's Michael Morgan. Filling the big boots of Jonathan Thurston for Australia throughout this tournament. Matt Gillett helping break his club coach's heart tonight with his performance. Here's Boyd Cordner. He looked absolutely out on his feet at one stage in the second half. And I think his body language represented what everybody was feeling at that stage. Tyson Frizzell played for Wales in the last World Cup, did Tyson Frizzell, and here he is, the man of the moment, Golden Boot winner, NRL winner with Melbourne, State of Origin winner with Queensland.